Russian fighter jets trace a long, complex, and often dramatic history of design and air combat. The story begins in the aftermath of World War II, as props gave way to jets. The jet engine changed everything. Soviet, later Russian, engineers pushed speed, altitude, and maneuverability. Each generation brought new engines, more capable radars, and increasingly sophisticated weapons. Some ideas were brilliant innovations, others, costly dead ends. We will trace this arc from rudimentary beginning, Mindending, to their state in 2025. Not just specs, but specs versus reality. Airshow metrics tell only part of the story. In combat, logistics, training, EW, and maintenance matter just as much. We will explore how these aircraft were designed to fight and how they actually perform. Russian fighters have shaped regional conflicts for nearly 80 years. By comparing claimed capabilities with documented outcomes, we reveal true strengths and weaknesses. First-generation Russian jets broke from piston-era traditions, simple airframes, straight or modestly swept wings. Turbojet propulsion was the core advance. The icon, the Mikoyan Gurevich MiG-15, top speed about 170 km/h, ceiling around 15,500 meters, combat range near 1,200 km, armed with twin 23mm cannons and a 37mm to break heavy bombers. Avionics were rudimentary, radar often absent. Pilots relied on eyes and ground control. Small, agile, excellent power to weight, a superb high-altitude dogfighter. The MiG-15 outclimbed the F-86 and outturned it above 30,000 feet, but controls were heavy. Mishandling could mean dangerous spins. Korea was the ultimate test, deadly against B-29s, mixed against Sabres. The Sabres' better gun sight, high-speed stability, and dive speed told. Lesson: raw specs impress, training, tactics, and tech decide. The MiG-15 was formidable, but not invincible. Second-generation fighters chased a single goal, level flight supersonic speed. Afterburning engines arrived, delta and sharply swept wings, and the first infrared missiles, Su-7, Su-9. The archetype, the MiG-21, Mach 2 performance, a global export success. Early IR missiles like the K-13 joined the gun. Simple radars became standard, but look down was limited. Designed for quick intercepts, climb, shoot, single pass. RTB, speed let them dictate terms. Lightweight MiG-21s could still knife fight at lower speeds. Rugged, simple, operable from rough strips, a low-cost Mach 2 option, but the price was range, short legs, tiny internal fuel. Early missiles were unreliable and rear aspect only. Delta wings bled energy in prolonged turns. Vietnam, F-4 pilots exploited this with better energy and radar. Specs promised Mach, reality demanded systems and tactics. Third-generation fighters shifted from pure interceptors to multi-role platforms. Better avionics and heavier weapon loads arrived. Variable sweep wings helped both takeoff and supersonic dash. MiG-23 reached about Mach 2.3, with much better range than the MiG-21. Radars gained, limited, look down, shoot down. Semi-active radar missiles enabled BVR engagements. Su-17, rugged striker with heavy stores and early guided munitions. A single type could do air defense, interdiction, and close air support. Yet, against Western peers, F-14S, F-15S, avionics and integration lagged. Early look-down radars were temperamental and vulnerable to ECM. Bekaa Valley, superior situational awareness proved decisive. BVR specs and speed could not compensate for weak electronics and tactics. The era set the stage for a radical next step, maneuverability and sensors over pure speed. Fourth-generation Russian fighters answered the US Teen series with maneuverability and sensors. The headliners, Su-27 flanker and MiG-29 fulcrum. Su-27, large, long-legged air superiority fighter, around Mach 235 and over 1,500 km combat range without tanks. MiG-29, lightweight tactical fighter optimized for the knife fight. Advanced fly-by-wire let computers stabilize extreme maneuvers. Post-stall tricks like the Cobra became possible. Pulse Doppler radar paired with passive IRS. With the R-73 and helmet sight, Pilots could shoot off-bore sight, a decade ahead of many Western jets. Su-27 combined range, heavy weapon loads, up to 10 AMs and agility. MiG-29s shined in visual range exercises after the Cold War. German-operated MiG-29s surprised F-16s and F-A-18s in close fights. But the Soviet collapse undercut service realities. World-class airframes, yet avionics and links often lagged. Radars more jam-prone. Fuel shortages, spares, scarcity, and fewer flight hours hit hard. Pilot proficiency and readiness declined. Spec versus reality. Flanker and Fulcrum were excellent, when the system around them was too. Russia extended fourth-generation airframes with 4+ upgrades. Su-30, long-range multi-role workhorse. Su-34, dedicated strike with range and payload. Su-35s, super maneuverable with thrust vectoring and a powerful radar. MiG-29 evolved into MM2 and carrier-based K variants. Analog gave way to glass cockpits and modern ergonomics. Radars upgraded, including the Irbis-E on Su-35s. New weapons extended reach and precision. Su-35s is one of the most dangerous dogfighters when it can close. Su-30SM carries Russia's multi-role load. Su-34 has seen operational strike use, including Syria. Primary drawbacks: stealth shortfalls. These are still 4th-gen airframes. RAM helps but doesn't make them low observable. Against true 5th-gen, they're often seen first. The counter: powerful EW to disrupt enemy sensors, and ground-controlled intercepts to force close-in fights. Once in visual range, their maneuverability can dominate. Russia's 5th-generation entry is the Su-57, NATO codename Felon, designed to compete with American stealth fighters. 5th-gen hallmarks: stealth shaping, supercruise ambitions, and highly integrated avionics. Claims: around Mach 2 and extended combat range. Weapons carried internally to preserve low observability. Unique multi-band radar concept. Nose ESA, cheek X-band, L-band and wing leading edges. Goal: fuse radar, IRS, and EW into a single picture, reducing pilot workload. As of 2025, production is slow, fleet size remains small. The planned second-stage engine, Izdalai 30, is still maturing. Early jets use derivatives of Su-35 engines, limiting supercruise. Analysts debate all aspect stealth, intakes and shaping under scrutiny. Operational use has been limited, primarily standoff strikes from friendly airspace. It has not been proven in high-threat air-to-air combat. For now, it is immense potential, not yet widespread capability. If engines mature and production ramps, Su-57 could become a formidable cornerstone. A fighter wins by finding, tracking, and engaging while avoiding detection. ESA radars use thousands of TR modules to steer beams electronically, faster and harder to jam. Stealth reduces detection distance via shaping and absorbent materials. Russia's fleet leans heavily on electronic warfare outside the Su-57. EW can jam, deceive, or disrupt. A digital cloak against sensors and missiles. Brochure speeds are often clean configuration at altitude. Combat loads cut speed and range. Radar range shrinks dramatically against small, lower CS targets or in heavy jamming. Pilot hours and training determine how much of the jet's potential is realized. Logistics and maintenance keep fleets airworthy, or ground them. History shows well-trained pilots in inferior. Jets can beat poorly trained pilots in superior ones. True capability lives not on spec sheets, but in the ecosystem of training, maintenance, tactics, and integration. The history of Russian fighter aviation is technological ambition meeting hard reality, from simple cannon-armed jets to the Mach 2 era, to multi-role versatility, to 4th-gen agility and sensors. The Su-27 and MiG-29 families remain the backbone through 4+ upgrades. New radars, engines, and glass cockpits keep them relevant. These jets are deadly in visual range fights, but their radar signatures remain 4th-gen. The Su-57 represents the future: stealth, sensor fusion, networked warfare. Yet it exists in small numbers and continues to mature. Effectiveness depends on production, readiness, training, and logistics, not just shows or brochures. Ahead, incremental upgrades to legacy fleets and the Su-57's maturation. How Russia balances old and new will shape its air power for decades.